All right, Mike Bond of MMA Junkie, USA Today Sports, here with UFC light heavyweight Corey Anderson. Corey, welcome to Brazil. What's it like being down here so far? I know you took this fight on short notice, but how's it been getting down here and just settling in?
It's pretty great being down. It's different. It's definitely a different atmosphere than being in the U.S. First night out, me and my buddy, the coach, we went for a run through the town, like three miles, 3.5. Just the things you see, just how everybody is on top of each other, the cities, the houses on top, the building, the design from the roads, and like you run into people just playing soccer. Like back home, we play pickup basketball and pickup football, and they was out there doing that for soccer. It's kind of cool just to see the different way they do things out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I mentioned, you took this fight on short notice. How did that process come about with taking the fight down here? I know it's getting visas, everything. It's a little more challenging. Was it a pretty smooth process? Was there any hesitation? How did it all go about?
Regarding the circumstances, yes, it went pretty smooth because I hadn't even had a passport. A couple of my coaches needed to get their stuff updated, get pages added. It was just, once they called me, it was just get to it. Like, as soon as they called me, my manager's like, they want you to fight Fabio in Brazil. I was like, sign the papers. Like, we'll take it. They're like, do you have a passport? I said, no. And right away, Gina emailed me, and instantly I started filling out the forms and sending stuff out. Had my passport the next day, and all my coaches had their stuff filled out and in the mail by the next night. So everything went kind of smooth. We were nervous getting our papers back. We didn't think we were going to get our visas back in time. We got them Saturday, and everybody flew out Sunday. So everything worked out in a good time.
And what kind of shape were you in when you taken the fight? Were you like training pretty hard, or what was it like, going from what you were doing before to jumping into a training camp with only a little bit of time?
Well, I was already in full training. I never take time off. I mean, after this, I would start easing back a little bit because this would be my second fight within like 90 days. But for the most part, I don't take time off. I'm in the gym. I get home. No matter what injuries, like when I got my teeth busted out, I just put a helmet on, like a full face mask, and I was back sparring the next day. After the last fight, I got back on Tuesday, spar day, and went straight to the gym and sparred with the guys. I'm always helping out my teammates, so it's always people with something coming up, so I'm there to help as much as possible.
Okay. And how much of these past two fights, what has it done for your confidence? Because, the one you said where your teeth, got messed up, it seems like, that was still a great fight, though. A lot of people enjoyed it. And then your last one, you managed to rebound over a really strong opponent. What's your confidence and just your self-belief like right now compared to maybe a year ago?
It definitely sent my confidence, I'm not going to say skyrocketing out the roof, but it definitely raised it up to the point I know I can compete with a lot of people now. I can feel I'm definitely a problem for the division in time with work. Like I said, I've only been fighting 2 years, and I've made it this far. I'm top 15, ranked number 14th in the world, and they call me for short notice fights because they believe I can make something happen. It's just, you went to a war with Gian Villante, who's known for throwing leg kicks, just crushing legs. I took 30-some of them, and it was just like, it didn't bother me. I kept fighting. I kept banging out. I got my teeth knocked out in the first round and kept fighting. And it went all the way down to the last 40 seconds. I got caught with overhand right. And you realize, like, okay, I just went to war. A guy's been in this game for 4 years. Like, you can pretty much bang with anybody. Just with every camp, you switch it up to develop what this guy does, and you just digress or progress.
Yeah, and you just said you've only been doing this for 2 years. Where do you feel like you can be in another 2 years? Do you feel like, you have the belt around your waist at that time? Do you feel like you're fighting, for a #1 contender spot? What do you see in your future, a couple years down the line?
A couple years down the line, the goal is to have the belt. I mean, if not by the end of next year. Everybody in this sport, you don't go in to just say, oh, I want to be somebody that I can be pretty good. Your goal is to be the champ. And my long-term goal, which is 2 years from now, is to be the guy with the belt on my waist, if not fighting for the belt by the end of the year.
Yeah, and obviously it starts, with this fight on Saturday, Fabio Maldonado. What do you make of him? He's a guy, every time he goes in there, it seems like it's rock'em sock'em robots. How do you fight someone like that? Do you, go in there willing to, take whatever comes, or do you need to be more disciplined against someone like this?
I mean, I'm the type of person, I don't really go in with game plans. I take whatever comes, but at the same time, I know Fabio isn't the best wrestler and doesn't have the best ground game. So if I have to, I will take him down if I have to. But I don't mind standing, exchanging with him a little bit just to show like I have hands. I'm still coming along. A lot of guys watch my fights and be like, oh, his boxing isn't that great. But you got to think, I'm still developing. When you're only 2 years in the game, you constantly learning daily. So I always like to go into each fight and show stuff. Like with Jan, I wanted to show I can take that body kick, the kick that he's so famous for, and I can sweep the kick and show I can throw a kick back, and that was the goal. So each time, you got to go in there. It's like chess. You can't go in with one game plan because you never know what it's going to do. So you just develop throughout the sport and just see and you adapt and adjust.
And last thing, I know when you accepted this fight, he was very grateful. He said, you know, we're going to do it and then go out for a beer. Are you willing to oblige? Is that going to happen on Saturday night after the fight?
Oh, yes, I'm more than willing to have a beer with him. His manager, Alex Davis, is kind of a friend of our team. We have his son-in-law is our Muay Thai coach, and one of his guys, Edson Barbosa, is one of our main guys at the gym. So it's definitely no bad blood there. So if you want to go grab a drink, we can grab a drink for sure.